Your Ford key fob does something most owners have never discovered, and once you see it, you will wonder how you went years without knowing. I have been working on Fords for over 15 years, and I still meet truck owners every single week who have no idea their key fob is hiding capabilities that can save them from being stranded, protect their vehicle, and make daily life significantly easier. Most people press unlock, press lock, maybe hit the panic button by accident. That is it. That is everything they ever use. But Ford engineers packed that little plastic remote with features that go far beyond what is printed on the buttons. Today we are going through the complete key fob secrets that Ford never properly explains. The last one on this list is something I estimate fewer than 1 in 20 Ford owners have ever used intentionally, even though it works on virtually every Ford built in the last decade. Let's get into it. The remote window trick that changes hot weather forever. Let's start with the one that gets the most dramatic reaction when I show it to people in the parking lot. You can roll down every window in your Ford using nothing but your key fob, and you can do it from inside your house before you even walk outside. This feature is called Global Open, and it has been built into most Ford trucks and SUVs since around 2015, but Ford never makes a big deal about it during vehicle delivery, and most owners stumble through years of ownership without ever learning it exists. Here's exactly how it works. Press the unlock button on your key fob once, the same way you normally would, then immediately press and hold that same unlock button again and keep holding it. Within about 3 to 5 seconds, all 4 windows start rolling down simultaneously. You control how far they open by how long you hold the button, release it, and the windows stop wherever they are. That is the whole thing. It sounds almost too simple, but the practical value of this feature is enormous. Think about what happens during summer. You walk to your truck after it has been sitting in a parking lot for 4 hours in 90-degree heat. The interior temperature can reach 130 degrees or higher. The steering wheel is too hot to touch. The seatbelt buckle will burn your hand. Most people just open the door and sit there waiting for the air conditioning to bring things down to tolerable levels. With this feature, you press the button before you even leave the air-conditioned building, and by the time you walk to the truck, a significant amount of that superheated air has already escaped. The cabin temperature drops noticeably before you even open the door. On certain Ford models, this also works in reverse with the lock button. Press lock once, then press and hold the lock button, and the windows roll back up. This is useful for that moment when you are already inside and halfway to sleep, and you suddenly remember you left a window cracked. No getting up, no walking back to the truck. You just hold the lock button from wherever you are. There is one limitation worth knowing. This feature operates within standard key fob range, which is roughly 30 to 50 feet. It uses your vehicle's 12-volt system to power the window motors, so it does not create any meaningful extra battery drain. If your specific model does not respond to this sequence, check your owner's manual under remote features or keyless entry, as a small number of model years use a slightly different button hold duration. The panic button has a second function nobody uses. Everyone knows the panic button. You have probably hit it accidentally at least once in a grocery store parking lot, immediately pressed it again to stop the embarrassing honking, and then moved on with your life. What almost nobody knows is that the panic button can also be used as a navigation tool in large parking lots and parking structures. Hold the panic button for exactly 2 to 3 seconds instead of the full 5 or 6 seconds that trigger the continuous alarm. On most Ford models, this activates a brief horn chirp and a single flash of the exterior lights, which is just enough to locate your vehicle visually without setting off the full alarm sequence. This is different from the locator function some phones offer through the FordPass app. This works from the physical key fob, no phone required, no data connection needed, completely offline. It is particularly useful in large outdoor lots where you have walked a significant distance from the vehicle and cannot easily remember which row you parked in. The flash of the headlights and taillights is visible from a surprising distance, even in daylight. The sequence timing matters here. A tap of the panic button, meaning less than 1 second of contact, starts the full alarm on many models. The 2 to 3 second hold is the window where you get the chirp and flash locator response. Hold it longer than 3 seconds and you are back into full alarm territory. Practice the timing once in your driveway so you know exactly what your specific truck or SUV responds to before you need it in a crowded parking structure. Unlocking individual doors versus all doors, and why it matters for security. The default behavior on most Fords is that a single press of the unlock button unlocks only the driver's door, and a second press unlocks all remaining doors. Most owners do not know this distinction exists, or they have already trained themselves to double tap the unlock without thinking. But that single press unlock is a meaningful deterrent, and understanding how it works changes how you should use it. When you single press unlock and immediately open the driver's door, all remaining doors in the rear storage area stay locked. If you are at a gas station or a parking lot at night and someone attempts to enter from the passenger side while you are getting in, the door will not open for them. This is not a foolproof security system, but it adds a real layer of protection during those few seconds when you are transitioning from standing outside to being seated inside with the door closed. The vast majority of opportunistic vehicle entries happen through unlocked passenger doors while the driver is distracted. This feature directly addresses that vulnerability. You can also modify the unlock behavior through your vehicle settings to change whether a single press unlocks all doors or just the driver's side. Go into your vehicle settings, navigate to locks, and look for the unlock door setting. You can configure it to always unlock all doors on a single press if that is your preference, or keep it at the driver only default for security reasons. Either way, knowing the distinction exists lets you make an informed choice rather than just living with whatever came from the factory. Here is the key fob dead battery emergency start that almost no one knows about. This is the secret I mentioned at the top of the video, and it has saved more Ford owners from expensive locksmith calls and towing fees than almost anything else I can tell you. When your key fob battery dies completely, most people assume they are stranded or at minimum stuck making phone calls. They are not, because Ford built a backup system into nearly every modern vehicle with keyless entry and push-button start, and it requires nothing more than the dead fob itself. The key fob contains two separate systems. One is the battery-powered radio transmitter that normally communicates with your truck from across the parking lot. That is the one that dies when the battery dies. The other is a passive RFID chip embedded in the fob housing. This chip requires no battery power whatsoever. It contains a small coil of wire that generates a tiny electrical signal when it passes through a magnetic field, similar to how a contactless credit card or a hotel room key card works. Even with a completely dead battery, this chip is still fully functional. Ford installed a reader for this chip in a specific location inside every vehicle equipped with push-button start. In F-Series trucks, it is typically a small slot or depression in the center console area, often near the base of the gear shifter or cup holder section. In SUVs like the Explorer, Edge, and Escape, it is often inside the center console storage bin. Look for a small icon that resembles a key fob silhouette. That is your backup start location. When your fob battery is dead and you need to start the vehicle, hold the dead fob directly against this slot with the front of the fob facing the slot. Keep it pressed firmly there, then press your push button start. The RFID reader detects the chip in the fob at close range, verifies your vehicle security code, and authorizes the start. The engine fires exactly as if the battery were fine. You can then drive to any store that sells CR2032 batteries, which are typically the correct size for Ford key fobs, and replace the battery in under 2 minutes using nothing but a coin to open the fob housing. For Fords that use a traditional key with a fob attached, rather than pure push-button start, there is a physical metal key hidden inside the fob. Look for a small release button or slider on the fob body, press it and a metal key blade slides or pops out. This mechanical key will physically open your door lock cylinder and start your ignition regardless of the fob battery status. Many Ford owners have carried their fob for years without ever knowing the physical key was inside it. You can program a second key fob yourself and save hundreds of dollars. Dealer programming fees for additional key fobs range from $50 to over $300 depending on the model and year. What most Ford owners do not realize is that you can program additional key fobs yourself at home in about 5 minutes, and it costs nothing beyond the price of the fob itself. This works on a wide range of Ford models from roughly 2000 through the mid-2010s. Newer models with more sophisticated security systems generally require a scan tool for programming, and for a significant portion of Ford's lineup, the self-programming procedure is straightforward. The standard procedure goes like this: sit in the driver's seat and close all the doors, insert your working programmed key into the ignition, turn it to the run position, which is 1 click before the engine starts, then back to the off position. Do this 8 times in rapid succession, ending on the run position on the 8th cycle. The doors will lock and then unlock on their own, which is the security system's signal that it has entered programming mode. At this point, press any button on the new key fob you want to program within 8 seconds. The doors will lock and unlock again to confirm that the fob has been accepted. You can then repeat the button press sequence for any additional fobs you want to program in the same session. When you are finished, turn the ignition off and the system exits programming mode. Test all the fobs you programmed by walking away from the vehicle and verifying each one works properly before your session ends. The exact number of ignition cycles and the specific sequence can vary by model year, so check your owner's manual or a Ford-specific online forum for your exact year and model before attempting this. The aftermarket fob itself needs to be FCC compatible with your vehicle, which means purchasing one listed as compatible with your specific VIN or confirming the FCC ID matches your original fob. The personalized driving profiles are hidden in your key fob. Ford added this feature to a large portion of their lineup, and most owners either do not use it or do not realize it is connected to the key fob specifically. On vehicles with intelligent access, which is Ford's name for their passive entry system, each key fob can store a personalized driver profile. That means when driver A unlocks the truck with their fob, the seat moves to their programmed position, the mirrors adjust to their angles, the climate control sets to their temperature preference, and the radio returns to their station. When driver B uses their fob, every setting adjusts to their profile instead. To set this up, adjust all your personal settings exactly how you want them, including seat position, mirror angles, climate control settings, steering column position if your vehicle has memory tilt and telescope, and any other personalized preferences. Then hold your key fob close to the door handle or use the button in the settings menu to save the current configuration to that specific fob. The exact saving method varies by model, but on sync-equipped vehicles, go into the settings menu, find the driver profile or memory seat section, and look for the option to link your current settings to a key fob. The system reads the fob's unique identifier and saves everything to that ID. In households with multiple drivers, this feature eliminates the daily ritual of readjusting everything every time a different person drives the vehicle. The truck or SUV automatically configures itself based on which person is unlocking it. This is also useful when one driver has specific medical or ergonomic needs that require very precise positioning, ensuring those settings are always present when they use the vehicle without having to rely on anyone else to reset things correctly. The one-touch locking behavior and how to customize the horn chirp. When you lock your Ford from the key fob, most trucks and SUVs produce a double horn chirp as an audible confirmation that the doors have locked. That chirp is genuinely useful when you are walking away and want to confirm the lock without looking back. It is also annoying at 6 in the morning when neighbors are asleep, when you are leaving a late-night venue, or in a quiet parking garage where the sound echoes off concrete. Ford buried a setting for this deep enough that most owners never find it, but it is accessible through the instrument cluster menu. Start the vehicle and use the navigation controls on your steering wheel to access the settings in your instrument cluster display. Look for a section labeled Locks or Doors and Locks. Inside that menu, you should find an option for door lock confirmation tone or similar wording. You can set this to horn only, which produces the chirp, or set it to no horn, which locks the door silently and uses only the turn signal blink as visual confirmation. You can also set it to horn and lights together, which gives you both feedback methods simultaneously. On older Ford models, without the digital instrument cluster menu, this setting is sometimes accessible through a sequence using the power lock button and the ignition. The specifics vary by year, so I would recommend checking a Ford-specific forum for your model year if the instrument cluster method does not reveal the option. Once you have made the change, it applies every time you lock from the fob going forward. You do not have to reconfigure it each time you start the vehicle. The setting persists until you change it again, so you can set it to silent mode and forget about it indefinitely if that is your preference. These key fob features are some of the most practical things I can show a Ford owner, because every single one of them works right now, today, with what you already have in your pocket. No additional hardware, no subscription, no dealership visit required. The dead battery emergency start alone is worth stopping the video and testing in your driveway this weekend, so you know exactly where that slot is before you need it in a dark parking lot at 9 at night with a dead fob and a car full of groceries. If you found value in any of this, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, because we release new Ford feature breakdowns regularly. Drop a comment telling me which of these you are going to test first. Share this with another Ford owner who is still just pressing unlock and lock and nothing else. I'll see you in the next one.